Welcome back to Thank Channel. Welcome to my journey in Kingdom Come Deliverance II. This is my first time playing the game, and I'm diving into this medieval world with no prior experience. Every choice, every fight, and every challenge will be a new lesson for me. Join me as I explore, learn, and hopefully survive this adventure. Let's see where this path takes us. Last episode, we explored the village and met many of its residents. Now, in this episode, we'll focus on our main mission, meeting the blacksmith, Radovan. We'll follow the bee icon on the map to find him. Let's get started. I wonder if we can buy a horse. Walking between locations takes so long, it would be much easier with a horse.
Look out!
Hear what I say about the greatest evil of all. What would you like?
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. What do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, That kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Radovan wants
You
to
can't
test my
make a sword
blacksmithing
out of butter,
skills.
but if you don't have
After
your
all,
own stuff,
I am the
you
son
can
of a
get everything
blacksmith,
from the
so
chest in
crafting
my
a sword
forge.
should come naturally. Let's see how it goes.
Go over to the anvil and let's get started. Get to it. I want to see how you'll fare. Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up a bit. Try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. It works the bellows. Tell the temperature by the color, but you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. Henry, when you've got a workpiece heated up, you can't just stand there and gape at it. cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before.
They're all secretly in league. One covering up the wrongdoings of the other. Forget about women's skin deep beauty. If thine eyes offend thee, pluck them out.
Get a move on. I'd like to get some other things done today.
Cut it out. Return.
The thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking. Right. Let's have
Surprisingly, crafting a sword is much easier than brewing potions.
Very nice
Blacksmithing seems simpler
Your
than
father taught
alchemy.
you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up, and by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
What's the right way to heat up the workpiece?
Do it till it turns the color of straw. Ideally, the color should be the same everywhere, if your forging's going to be even. The main thing is, don't work it cold. You just ruin it. But don't overheat it either. As soon as sparks start to fly off it in the furnace, take it out.
Why should I forge evenly?
If you keep hammering the same spot, you'll never finish it. You'll just fuck it up. But jumping from one end to the other ain't a good idea neither. You'd end up working unevenly. The best thing to do is aim each strike next to the one before.
How will I know it's finished?
Notice the shape. The closer you are to finishing, the more precise the shape it will have.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me. But if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. They can't afford it neither.
What can I do with the items I've forged?
Well, you can sell them, though you probably won't have much luck around here. But I'll happily buy some of the nicer things from you.
Where exactly is my bed?
At the side of the house, there are 2 doors and a wheelbarrow between them. You go in by the rear door, next to the woodshed, and you can put your things in the chest there. Don't worry, nobody'll steal them.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right, here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work.
Radovan is kind enough to offer me a place to sleep and even a chest to store my belongings. Let's check it out.
Watch where you're going.
Oh, there are some useful items here. I'll take them all. Let's see what's in the chest. Nice. A shield and a crossbow. These will be essential for survival in combat. The rest are just clothes, which look fancy but don't provide much protection. Now, let's rest and save our progress. Before moving forward, let's equip our new gear. Wow! The shield looks great. Just wearing it makes me feel more confident. Looking at the map, I see a new quest marker. Let's head over there.
God grant you help.
To success!
I went past your garden the other day, and that dog of yours was going mad, barking and growling at me like I was a stranger. He never used to be like that.
I know. Sorry. He's getting old and losing his wits.
How?
Shit.
What do you want?
Show me your wares.
Ah, never mind then.
I really
Farewell.
ought to make a fool of that old geezer.
Don't
He'll be
shove!
the laughing stock of the...
What's new around here?
Vostatek. Lord von Beregov's huntsman is a regular here. He might have some work for you. He's got a
It looks like
cottage
the
near
tavern
Vidlac
owner has a
Pond.
task for me.
So if you know your way around the woods, you could go and offer him your help. I hope he hasn't started drinking somewhere else. He's my best customer. You could also stop by and see Old Mouth. He's the local storyteller. He could tell you all sorts of interesting things. But only if you bring him some liquor. Don't forget, I have some here to sell, if you want. And that's all I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. Can I spend the night here?
Not a chance. Go back to where you came from, you wastrel.
What did I do to you?
Show me your wares.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then, eh?
You having problems with the Geliovites?
Not just me, my friend. They're the biggest bastards around. They've been nothing but trouble for years. The winter before last, they piled snow in front of everyone's doors at night, so no one could get out of their house. And last year, they broke into my cellar and pissed in my beer barrel.
Gracious. I hope you got your aim back on them.
Not yet, no. But since you're here, I've got a plan you could help me out with. I'd pay you well. You can count on that.
What exactly would you like me to do?
Don't worry. I won't make you do any shoveling or pissing anything. But I'll tell you exactly what I have in mind, only after you promise to help me. I'd hate to reveal my plan, only for you to go off and tell the Geliovites right away.
All right. I'll help you.
Listen up then. Old Albram, the owner of the biggest plot of land in Geliov, has this beautiful bull. White as snow he is. The finest animal far and wide. Obviously, he's very proud of it. Very protective too. Now we I mean, you, will give his beautiful snow-white bull a nice new coat of paint. Albram is going to lose his mind. Simple, right?
Painting a bull, eh? That sounds like fun.
Right. We just have to work out a few details. First, we have to get some paint. I don't reckon we'll be able to get any here in the village, but you can try and ask Bartoszek, the tailor in Trotskovitz. I hear he dyes his own fabric. And after that, we'll have to make sure the bull stays still while you're painting it. Try asking Radovan, the local blacksmith. I hear he can make some kind of sleeping potion. If you pour it in the bull's water trough, I'm sure it'll do the trick. But watch out. That beast is enormous. You'd better put at least 3 doses of the potion in there.
All right then. Albram's bull will be getting a new coat of paint.
Albram's going to lose his mind. I can't wait. And remember, it's supposed to be a joke. If you get caught or something goes wrong, the whole thing will be ruined.
Right. So I need paint, sleeping potions, and to not get caught.
He wants me to prank
Why
someone.
do you and the Zhelyov lot
Well,
hate each
that
other
sounds
so much
interesting.
anyway?
I'll accept the
It's
quest.
their fault. They keep playing tricks on us. Albram's the worst of them all. The nasty old codger. He's always coming up with ways to mess with us. He's the one that stole our pasture.
What pasture did they steal from you?
The one that stretches from the orchard behind the Takov down to the gamekeeper's lodge. It's been ours since time immemorial, but the Zhelyevites took it from us.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down by the gamekeeper's lodge that marks the edge of our land. My father, God rest his soul, was there when they agreed on it. He got a proper arse kicking so he'd remember it, and remember it he did. But then fucking Albram came along, claiming it was the other way round, and that pasture belonged to Zhelyov.
Well, can't you all just reach some kind of agreement?
Do you think we haven't tried? But there's no talking to the Zhelyevites. Year after year we meet in that pasture. I tell it like it was, but Albram always starts spewing his lies. Then we end up arguing until the sun sets. And when the Zhelyevites are at wit's end, they come at us, and nothing ever gets solved. We managed to convince them to at least give us back half the pasture. But I know the whole bloody thing belongs to us. We can't just leave things like this.
Have you tried asking Lord von Burgov for help?
Of course, but he'd have none of it. He said it's up to the Trotskovitz bailiff to sort it out. But the bailiff couldn't care less. He said we should deal with Albram ourselves, or he'll have us caned and clapped in the pillory.
Next, we need to find Radovan again to get a sleep potion. I doubt he sells potions.
I need something that'll put animals to sleep. Prochek said you might know something.
Did you get tired of blacksmithing and take up farming instead? I just happen to know of something. I used a concoction that will put even a startled mare to sleep in no time. I once accidentally drank some and slept for 3 days. But the recipe is an old blacksmith's secret. The kind you don't just give away. You're in the trade.
Just like I guess he
so
don't
can
have
tell
it, but
you.
at least he
It's
tell
an
us
up there.
recipe for
You take some
crafted.
poppy and thistle.
Looks like we'll have to
boil them in
craft
oil.
one ourselves.
Then,
After
it
that,
cools off,
I need something
you
to
add a
paint a
little
bull.
herb Paris.
The innkeeper suggested asking Bartoszek, the tailor in Froskowitz village.
Oh, damn. That's complicated. Could you just sell me some of the sleeping potion?
Are you yanking my pizzle? Offer someone a hand and they take the whole arm. What are you here for, friend?
What do you have for sale?
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything?
I'd like you to teach me something.
It can be done, but it doesn't come free. You know how it is. Years of hard work and self-sacrifice. What is this about?
I don't have enough money. I'll come back later. There's a couple more things I'd like to ask about smithing.
Ask away.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semine, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semine and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semine that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskowitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semine.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long. But these days, I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semine wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts.
He has a quest for me to find two laborers, Venser and Franzi, in a new destination, Semine town.
All sorts of things.
Looks like I have a lot to do.
In that cartload.
But before anything else, I need to buy a horse if I want to travel long distances.
I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead.
The question is,
And
where
if you
can I
find
buy
that
or
pair
find
of
one?
fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
That's it for today's episode. In the next one, you'll see where I go next. Stay tuned. There's still a lot to learn, but every step brings me closer to mastering this medieval world. If you enjoyed the journey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss the next episode.
Why don't you forge
See you
me
next
another
time,
hunting sword?
onward to the next challenge.
Have you got what you need?
See you in next video. Thanks you for watching my channel. I hope you enjoy it.